Hey Libra, welcome to your May/June, mostly June, but a little bit of May 2018 general tarot reading. I'm Leona Nicole Black. Thank you for joining me. Libra, I know you didn't get your reading earlier in the month for the rest of the signs, and I hope you're not taking it personally. I have been going through extreme difficulties, going through a shadow kind of soul purging, life falling apart to be put back together experience, and I've had to be present to myself and my energy, and I just, no matter how much I wanted to, I could not show up here. So here I am. What I'm going to do with you this for this reading is I'm going to look a little bit at kind of what's gone on in May for you, and then I'll go on to your June messages, so you get a little bit of a bridge of both, and obviously you're the earliest for the June one, so to make up for it for my absence. Okay, but I should mention that I have started doing daily readings on my Instagram page, which is Leona Nicole Black. It's somewhat sporadic at the moment as I'm moving around and finding the energies, but I feel like when the message comes through, I share it and it seems to resonate. So if you want to check that, you can. Of course, even when I'm not doing the YouTubes, I'm always working with personal clients. So if it comes to the point where you'd want to work with me one-to-one and you just want to get that message that's specific about you, you can do that at nicoleblack.com/services. I'll leave the link in the bio so you can go straight to that and book to see me. And I've got MP3 readings, video call readings for my international clients, and for the London-based folks, I do in-person readings as well. So you can check that out on my website. I think that's all for the kind of notices, other than to say thank you for your continued love and support. Thank you for your comments. I read all of them, even if I don't always get a chance to reply. I'm intending to just sit and kind of reply to some soon anyway, but I read everything you write to me. Also, thank you for subscribing and seeing this community, those of you connected to my energy growing, and thank you for sharing with me and with others just how you're feeling about the reading. Okay, so now that I've got my gratitude down, let's get into your messages. You know, Libra, I want to say this. We've just come through Taurus season. We've started Gemini season, and my goodness, am I having throat chakra issues. And Taurus rules the throat chakra, this area here, which is all about our communication, our ability to speak truth. And I've just had so much pain here. And even as I start this reading, I'm feeling it. So if any of you are experiencing that too, or any blocks with communication, know that this is an energy that's coming up for us right now. So we've just come through the full moon in Sagittarius. During full moons, I can't sleep very well, so you might also be experiencing that. I'm finding the energy very helpful, though, helpful to this, what I think is a death process that we're all going through. The death card has come up for you in your reading, so I'm going to talk to you about that. But I pulled a card for you, since we're so close to the full moon, to see what the full moon is representing, what it's doing in your life. And you've got the Dominion card, 2 of Wands, beautiful. And this is Mars in Aries, and Mars being the ruler of Aries, this is a really great placement. What I'm feeling from this card for you, Libra, interestingly, remember that Aries is your opposite sign. So it's really the polar end, the other side of your comfort zone, where you tend to live high, where you tend to think what your natural energy is. This full moon is pulling you to the other end of the spectrum. And the Dominion card obviously is about territory. It's about control, really, but not control formally of yourself. Like your first domain, your first dominion is you, is your soul, is your body, are your thoughts, are your emotions, and it's calling you, it's giving you this drive to take full control, to be assertive over self right now, self-mastery, because we're in a Sagittarius full moon, there is an energy of expansion. There is an expansion to come. You can see even in this card, this energy of going outwards in this kind of star pattern. You are expanding, Libra. And I've said to you, even since January, that you're creating something very specific this year. You guys are really working on building creative visions. But before you expand, there's some stuff you have to get to grips with internally. There's some stuff that you need in place in order to materialize, to actualize, and to sustain your creation. And also, I think it was your sign that said in the previous month that you don't want to create things, or it might have been Virgo, you don't want to create things that other people come in and co-opt and take power over, things that you have initiated that end up running away from you, or because you haven't got dominion of yourself, your idea, your dream, your vision, and therefore anything you create is almost looking for another parent. And that's what you're healing right now. You're healing that within yourself. Man, that felt like such a clear channel. I wasn't intending to say any of that, but it really came through. So this energy of the full moon for you, so I'm recording this on the 30th of May, so the full moon was on the 29th, and this energy really is about releasing anything right now that is causing restriction around your control and your dominion of yourself. So right now, Libra, you are the energy of partnership. You guys are so good at balancing out you and other. Like, you're always interested in adding some other energy to the scale, some other thought, some other person, some other whatever it is, business. But right now, Spirit is saying, like, I've said this to you last month, I think, like, the balance is with yourself. You've got to weigh up your internal scales and you've got to turn your energy inward right now. So that's your full moon message, releasing any distractions, really, releasing anywhere where your energy is being spilt, where you're giving where you shouldn't be, where you're just any out. Like, you've really got to call your energy into yourself right now. And I asked, what were the spiritual lessons that you've been moving through this May? And the first card, the swiftness card here, this is an 8 card. So definitely we've got some karmic energy coming through. And it's also Mercury in Sagittarius. If you've got 2 Sagittarius cards, well, actually this is the first one. I'm skipping ahead. But yeah, this is your first thus far Sagittarius card in this reading. We're in the full moon in Sagittarius and you've got Mercury in Sagittarius. This, again, is throat chakra stuff. This is about you being able to speak your truth without hesitation. There's something around timing here, Libra. I think that you can speak up for yourself. I think you can make good judgment, good assessment. I think you can share with others what needs to be done, but I don't think you always do it in the right timing. I think the part of you that is, 1, avoiding conflict and disharmony, and 2, and a very, very similar to Virgo, trying to refine the communication, trying to get it right, trying to balance and harmonize what you want to say, makes that you end up saying the thing too late or not at all. There is a swiftness of communication required here. Now, see in this card, this center point here, this is coming through to me as you. The beginning is the communication with yourself. You need to develop self-reflective, introspective communication patterns. You need to learn how to speak to yourself. And I don't mean this self, I mean the soul self, the deep self. So I think my Mercury and my Venus is in Libra. So I feel like this particular month, May, I've been really living through a lot of my Libra energy. And one of the things that I did for myself when I was really stumbling through this shadow and just like, I don't know what to do, I don't know what's going on, I need help, and not really finding it anywhere externally, is I sat down and I did this type of reading for myself. I pressed record and I went into that intuitive space that I give to you guys, and I did it for me. I read it. Like, I spoke to myself as a you, and when I watched it back, my goodness, I was like, I needed that. Now, I had to learn, Libra, how to speak to myself, not my mental voice, not my either, oh, you failed, or oh, you can. Like, neither of those voices were cutting it for me. I needed to speak to a deeper self. And that's what you were needing to cultivate over May, and learning a way to communicate with your own soul. So that could be journaling, for example, or dance, or whatever it is, but you need something that gives you that direct place to get to the center, because you're healing something there. And I see in these, you've got these 2 star patterns in these 2 cards I've showed you, and the star card comes out for you later in your reading. So there's something about the configuration, the geometry of a star right now that's really important to you, but also finding yourself at the center. You must be at the center right now. Yes, Libra, it's your purpose to be in connection and in communion. It's your purpose to teach and to share and to love and to balance and to harmonize and to be in deep bonds and committed connections and partnerships, business and family and whatever, and friendship. All that is for you. Only when you find your center, though, all of that stuff becomes scattered, you know? This energy here, these lightning bolts, they just get scattered, Libra. You know what's happening to me right now as I'm doing your reading? I'm going to be honest with you. I'm like almost judging myself and thinking like, move through the messages quicker. I don't want to spend a whole long time because I know my energy burns out and I'm trying to get through it. And yet the Spirit's saying to me like, no, give them the message that they need and the timing that they need it at the pace that it needs. And if it's an hour long reading, it's what they needed. Just do the job. So I'm like, okay, I'm not going to rush through your reading. So I'm going to give you every message that is coming through me really strongly right now. So scattered. You don't want this communication to be scattered because you haven't found your voice, your sound, your center point, you know? Me having Mercury in Libra, I was at a point in my life a few years ago where I couldn't even hear my own thoughts with the people around me, friends and family particularly. Their judgments, their expectations, like were ringing in my mind, and I literally fought through the voice of another person. Even my inner voice was not this sound that you hear coming through. And I had to heal that. I had to literally silence everybody else to discover what is it I really think, feel, want, desire. And it was difficult. It was painful acknowledging that I had no idea and that I was so disconnected from myself and so fearful about trusting myself. This is what's happening with you because May, you got 2 earth sign cards here, success and gain. Beautiful. Now, can we see some more of this star pattern going on, or at least this 4 cards in the beginning of your reading with all of this outbursting energy, like the patterns going external? It's a promise, Libra, that you can shine. You can show up in the world in the ways that you want to. You can do the external things. You can. It's not being withheld from you. You're not always going to have to be in a shell. You're not always going to just be in the building phase. You're not always going to have to be keeping your true self and who you really are on a core level internal. You can take more ground. You can expand. You can. It's a timing thing now. Success and gain says that in May, you've been really thinking about and been pushed to think about via spirit, your money, your finance, business, and how you actually materialize things and create. Particularly the energy of manifestation has been an issue for you. And I think this month you've been fine-tuning why you've been unable to manifest the things you want to. You know, so you're putting effort in, you know, you're doing the visualizations, there's things that you're doing that speak to the spiritual aspect of creation, and yet you're not seeing the results, right? And so the 6 success card here is like, in this card, it's particularly talking about systematic success, the things that you need to do to put in place to build on things, right? To get things to grow and grow and grow and grow. And this month you've been having to think about not only what your growth cycle is in terms of the things you want to do, but also where is it looping and thwarting. So let's say, for example, in the stages of something you want to do, there's 5 stages, okay? Maybe it's like you start a website, maybe it's I don't know, let's say you want a relationship, and so you start by looking inward and getting clear on what you desire, and then you start, you know, making space, making room in your life for this relationship, whether it's like in your environment, changing things, making more time for leisure, play, all that stuff, whatever it is. I'm just giving you examples of like stages of how you can create something. But maybe you get to stage 3, and every time you get to stage 3, you get stuck there and you have to come back to stage 1, and you're looping and looping and never getting to 4 and 5. That's what May has been about for you. Understanding the stages and deciphering what the loop is. Part of the loop here is the gain card. Libra, some of you don't believe. I was going to say in yourself, but I caught myself because it's not yourself you don't believe in. It feels like it's the environment. You don't believe you can grow where you are. You don't believe that you can get to the next stages where you're at. You don't believe that you can be fully provided for. You don't believe, you know, you're ruled by Venus. And I feel like there's some Taurus issues because, of course, we were in Taurus season. So, you know, Taurus is your sister sign in the sense of that it's ruled by Venus just like you. And I feel like you're almost looking at that Taurus energy and feeling like I can't master that. I don't know how to do that. I don't know. I'm not getting enough. Like what's here is not coming through strongly enough in like what's here, what's material. You know, the mantra or for Taurus is I have. And Libra, I feel like this month you've been becoming deeply aware of what you haven't got, you know, what you haven't been able to create, your desire to own, and yet not being able to, and yet being, because you have that same Venusian energy, there is, remember Venus rules your money and your attraction as well. So I feel like you have been engaging in these things, like you have been engaging in material things and beautiful things, and whether it's going to the theater, or you know, getting music or food or whatever it is, like you have been attuned to these things, but underneath it I'm feeling, Libra, a scarcity energy, and this is what's been coming up for you this May. Dealing with your scarcity, because the last card here in terms of your May themes is the abundance card, which is 3 of Cups here, and this is actually Mercury in Cancer. Now, you've got 2 Mercury cards as a part of your May energies, and what that's saying to me is that a lot has been going on here. Thinking and communicating, thinking and communicating, thinking that's and communicating. This is what you've been doing. You're an air sign, so this is what you've been, your energy has been pumped towards this for Taurus season. Mercury in Cancer, the abundance card here, is about you understanding what abundance is to you. Now, we're still in May as I'm recording this, so if you haven't mastered these lessons, there's time, okay? You still got the heads up from me, so you can continue to carry this through into Gemini season and into June. But it's saying that you need to be clear on 1, what abundance represents to you, 2, where the abundance is. If it's not, because I feel like you feel in this environment is not necessarily the right environment for you, where is Libra? What does that right environment look like? If you can't see it out in the world, can you visualize it? If you can't visualize it, Libra, one of the things I encourage you to do is to use a crystal of some kind, choose one that vibes with you, and sleep with it. And when you go to sleep, ask Spirit to help you with that visualization. Ask Spirit to show you the dream. You know, one of the things that comes from me, and this is a rose quartz here, and I've been sleeping this a lot lately, and when I am in deep need of love, when I am feeling a deep love deficit, when I'm unable to move towards expressions of love in my external world, I tend to... I was just checking it was recording because I was like, oh, please tell me you hit record. Okay, anyway, I tend to end up dreaming without really asking, to be honest, but I'm telling you guys to ask. I end up dreaming up the scenario, the conditions of love that I'm deeply needing. Like I see it in clarity, lucid dreaming. I feel the emotion when I wake up, like, and it shows me. No, you don't see the blueprint of it in your life right now. No, I didn't really have, in terms of my family dynamics, like expressions of love and, well, there was love, let me not say that, but I didn't have the healthiest expressions of love. I didn't have like healthy relationship models demonstrated to me. There was a lot of like trauma and dysfunction. That's all true, and yet my soul is saying to me, you can create something else. Here's what it looks like. And that's what you're needing this month. In terms of the abundance card, Libra, if you can't see it yourself, you need to ask for a vision to be given to you so that you can start working on expressing that externally. Okay, so those are kind of your May energies. I want to move now on to June and what's coming ahead of you. I ask Spirit, so you know the drill now. You know kind of the format of the reading I do, which is kind of a soul-based soul growth reading. I ask Spirit how you're showing up in June. Bang! King of Wands. Now, I don't see a lot of swords cards in your reading. There's a lot of fire energy though. Fire and earth, a little water. So swords not really there. I thought it's because May was really your time to assess and to understand, you know, that's what you were synthesizing things on a mental level. But now here in June, you show up as the King of Wands, fire sign energy. This is the manifestation energy. June, you show up as someone who is now interested in making things happen externally. You don't want only You don't want just the dreams, you don't want just the passions, you don't want it just to be something that you know about or something that's just feeding you. The thing that you've been working on, I said from January you were creating, and then we're now at the midway point of the kind of Georgian calendar year, and you are now like, I want this thing to come out in the world. I need to know. You are learning how to manifest. You are learning what is your potency, what is your power to create right now. So I asked Spirit, what's the context for that? Or, you know, these cards came out really quickly even before I got to ask the context. And I want to show you the first card you have is the Pentacles, Two of Pentacles here. And then I've got on either side of them clarifications around. They came out naturally, but they're showing me what each of these two Pentacles are for you. Libra, you're looking, what this is, when the manifestation energy is concerned, you are looking from left to right and you're saying to yourself, I'm trying to create this and I'm seeing this. Excuse my fingers, I can't do it by looking at the camera. I'm trying to create this and I'm seeing this. And you're looking, you're juggling them up and you're going, this doesn't make sense to me. I want this, I'm getting this. I want this, I'm getting this. What's not working here? Why am I not earth side? Why am I not seeing in the physical reality in front of me, in my home, in my life? The things are in here. Why is it distorted? What's the block? On the one hand, it's showing me you do have some clear vision, you do have some idea, or you want an idea of what this Ten of Pentacles is for you. You want to build, you want to establish, you want to get your money right, you want healthy relationships, you want to give to the community, like you want sustainability as well. You want things that grow and go on beyond your time in this universe. Like you want to build and create, and yet you have another Aries card, the Empress in reverse. Opposite energy to you, difficulty mastering this. What this is showing me is that part of the reason that you're not seeing that thing externalized yet, and I'm not saying this to blame you, I'm just telling you where you are in your soul's journey, is lack of dominion. You have not conquered the self yet. And we don't get taught that. We get taught that if we want to get something in the world, that we have to externalize and push and create and grind and work hard and do all this external thing. And no, for you, it must be in here first. Yes, the work and the creation will come. It has to begin. The vision has to be clear, okay? It cannot be contaminated or polluted in any way. What you're getting is almost... Forgive me for this word, but I have to say it because it came through to me. But the word that came through was bastards. I don't mean that as in like a parent, a non out of marriage kids. I don't mean it in that sense. I just mean in terms of like you having wanted to create something, and then what comes out is almost grotesque or not like what you were initiating. You know Frankenstein's monster. I think she's called Mary Shelley, the writer, the author of Frankenstein, the book. But the scientist in it creates a monster. That's the concept of it, okay? And it's like this thing that he comes to hate is also made in his image, or it's part of his own creation. It's a whole metaphor. I don't know, read the book. But what I'm saying to you right now in your life, the things that you're trying to create have become monsters to you. And you're trying to figure out what in the creation process made that happen. And it's you is the answer. It's you. Now, part of this is control issues. Because rather than coming up with self-possession and being reposed within self, what you have here, I love the way this is matching my aesthetic. I'm sorry, guys. You know what I'm like. I have to pause for this. The orange hair with the kind of reddish color, or... this is not quite a red, but I can't think of the deeper tone of red, but like a maroon, let's say, versus this orange and this. Like, I feel like I am the emperor. Okay. All right, back to the reading. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm not sorry, but yes. I just like an aesthetic. I told you, Venus and Libra, I care about these things. Okay. So part of this is control issues, and it's that you're trying to control things externally. You're trying to control your schedule. You're trying to control who you work with. You're trying to control all of that. You're trying to control your partner, and it's like, no, okay, relinquish that stuff. That's beyond you. You cannot control anything but this. This is the only thing within your control. And this month, I feel And moving forward with Uranus just moved into Taurus, my God, are you going to get that lesson? Like, things are going to happen in a way that's going to show you cannot control it. You cannot control it. You want to control that? Whoops, no. The universe is just going to keep snatching from you everything you're trying to hold on to. So Libra, you've got to be reposed within yourself and know that the self-control and self-discipline is the space. Because on the other side of things, you've got the Seven of Cups card here and the Death card in reverse. Now, I've been with you working through this energy. Like, I've been living through this with you, okay? And look, the Death card in reverse is saying that you don't know what needs to end. You don't know where to put the endings, the death process, the release. You don't know how to let go. You've been in a state of emotional confusion, both not knowing what to choose, which is natural for you. This is a problem with so many options. You don't know what's the highest path. So this deliberation and paralysis, not knowing what to choose, but this is also not understanding self, Libra. This is assessing so much what's external that you don't understand the inner puzzle. You don't understand what's on the soul level here. And so almost things have outrun their course, which is something I said to Taurus last month or this month. Taurus's May reading, I said to them that they weren't understanding the green light, when to go. And because we were in Taurus season, this is also a lesson that was coming through or is coming through for you. That you did not know or have not been knowing when to let something go, when to leave, when to move on. And even if you know and you sense the timing is here, you don't know how. You are struggling with the how, and this is what's happening. Like, so you're juggling these two things. You're like, okay, something has to end, something has to change. I don't know what, I don't know how, and then I want to create this, but it's not working. You've been stuck, Libra. You've been stuck. So I ask Spirit, therefore, what's the soul lessons for you? What is June teaching you? What is June bringing up for you on an internal level? And you've got the Page of Wands in reverse. Libra, this is about masks, I'm feeling. This is who you are. But on the soul level, this is what's going on. And this is why I'm saying to you, this is a perfect demonstration. This is how you're showing up this month. You want to create, you want to manifest, you want to be the king of your domain, you want to do that. But then Spirit is saying, well, this is who you really are. And if this is who you are underneath, this person is not going to create from the position of a king. They might look like a king, but when it comes to making decisions, they're going to make the decision from the perspective of the page, because that's who you are deep down inside. And it's time to drop the illusion. It's time to stop pretending that you have mastered this energy, because you haven't. It's time to work on the dominion so you can get to this. But right now you're at Page of Wands. And what this is saying is that there is some lie. Now, on my Instagram post, I posted about this for the full moon in Sagittarius. And I posted about the lie that is inside us that we need to kill. And so go and read that, I posted it on the 29th of May. My Instagram is Nicole Black. You can go and read that post. But here, what I'm saying to you is there's a lie, there's some dishonesty, there's some untruth, and it's about you, and it's you, what you say to yourself, what you think about yourself, who you pretend you are. This is a throat chakra issue. Despite it being a fire sign card, the page is about expanding, moving out in the world with a message of truth, intuition, and passion, telling one's truth unapologetically, showing up in the world as one is. Libra, you struggle with that. You struggle because you are seeking acceptance. You struggle because you are always feeling that who you are has to be balanced with the needs of who other people are, and what they want from you. Okay, so you don't show up unapologetically, authentically as self. You show up as some mirror image of what you're seeing. Okay, if that person is needing a loving, supportive girlfriend, you show up as that. If that person is needing a knight in shining armor and the masculine energy to rescue them, you show up as that. If that person is needing money or a healer, you're showing up as that. You cannot keep doing this. You are not purely a mirror reflection of what's out there. You must break the mirror, smash it. Okay, smash it in June. And who are you when you're not looking outside to find out? The Hierophant in reverse is your soul lesson. Live your spiritual truths externally, Libra. Live them externally. Decide what your philosophy, your beliefs are. Live them out loud. Act on them. Act on it. Act on it. Be the highest authority in your life. Be the stop point. Be where the buck ends. I think, I believe, my philosophy, my truth. Hold it. Hold your center. And teach your center. Live by what you preach. Live by that teaching. Live by your highest values. Sagittarius represents highest learning, okay? Live by your soul truth. Live it out loud. Show up as the priest in the world. Blind Stallion Wizard, I think he's called on Instagram, did a full moon reading as well, and I loved what he said about this card, because, you know, Spirit showed me that this card is like very dominant in my energy and something I need to heal, and so I'm very familiar with this. And this is a soul lesson for you in June, and it's saying stop not receiving because you think you've had it all and you don't want it. Okay, it's like, look, I've lined up these cards in the front. You know, Spirit trying to give you something. You're like, nope, I've seen it. You showed me this. I drank it. I didn't like it. Okay, I put it down. Don't give me any more of that. You need to receive the experience you're having right now. You need to receive whatever is being reflected at you right now. Even if you think you've seen it all before, even if you think it's something that you don't want, you cannot predict to know what it is Spirit is giving you right now. You cannot predict to know the outcome of it. You have to walk in the darkness and just take, even if the thing looks the same. Remember the loop? I said the 5 stages. If you're looping at 3, maybe you've got to 3 and Spirit is giving you something because you finally understood something here. And instead of taking that 3 and being able to break through and grow, you're like, no, I've been here, I've done that, this can't be it, I'm looking for another way. So it's like, it's not another way. The only reason it feels like the same situation to you, the same offer to you, is because you've been looping, because you keep revisiting this place. And Spirit's like, if you don't take it, you can't move forward. Take the cup. Now you need to use your intuition to figure out what this cup is, because it's a general reading, so I'm speaking to everyone, whoever tunes into this energy with me. If you need a reading, if it advises you and you need a reading to figure out the cup, then you can come and see me and I can help you do that. But you need to receive it, okay? 4 being the number of establishment here. So you're trying to set a foundation and you need to take what looks old right now. The moon is here. Well, the first indication of this as a soul level with you is that you should definitely work with this full moon. If you're a person who doesn't normally do new moon, I keep saying new, full moon rituals, if you don't really, work with the energy of the moon, you need to. I am personally feeling like this moon is really assisting us, and so it's saying tune into that energy. Tune in, use it, let it help you right now. It's also saying that you are passing through the shadow. You are passing through the darkness in your life. You are. And the moon is here to illuminate and to show you the way. It's also saying that there are secrets, things unseen, unknown, that need to become revealed to you. And the only way to do that is to switch this energy upright by truly looking inward at yourself to find out what makes you howl, Libra, like these wolves down here. What is innate and primal inside you? Stop suppressing it. Stop trying to refine it. Stop trying to make it more palatable to the world. Release your rawness, Some of you need to connect with your Lilith energy. Go read what Lilith is about. Okay, and then you've got the 10 of Swords. This is the death energy, and this is where you're struggling. This is where you're stuck. You hit the 10 of Swords. It's painful, it's difficult, there's been loss, there's been a struggle, maybe there's been betrayal, maybe there's just been confusion, maybe it's a stuckness where you feel like you can't move past this. Whatever it is, you're here now. This is it. You've got it. It's a lesson for you. The lesson here is that, yes, when you walk through the darkness, the risk is real. The threat is real. It's not just in your mind. It's not an illusion. It's not like, I give it to you straight. If you're worried about money, if you're worried about practical situations, and you're being called to develop the spirit and to, work on your dreams, or, do whatever the spiritual work that you're being called to do is, actually the fear of financial ruin is not fake. It's real, okay? It's not like, as much as you can believe my needs will always be provided for, and we can use those spiritual principles and teachings, right? It doesn't matter. The truth is that you are still walking through I was distracted by an aesthetic again. You're still walking through a real threat. And then some of you have fallen. Some of you have hit the road, the ground, you've stumbled, it has been painful, and you're like, hold on, I was believing, like, hold on, I was doing what I was supposed to. I was doing my visualizations, my mantras, I was, meditating, I'm using my salt baths, I'm doing my yoga, I'm doing my shadow work, I'm investing in my soul. Why on earth have I, failed, hit the ground? Why is it so painful? Because it has to be. that's as straight as it is. The concept that you would not suffer on this path is an illusion. It's a lie, okay? There's suffering involved. There's suffering involved, and the suffering happens to the ego that has been cracked open to new beliefs, new understandings, and a whole new world. It's painful. So some of you have met this. Some of you will meet it in June. It's painful. It's true. You have to be here, and you have to treat yourself with the tenderness of a wounded person. You have to. You have to. And you have to figure out, Libra, what's getting up. Because all 10 swords can't go with you. You have to pull these swords out of your back, and you have to figure out how much of who you are you're taking forward. There is a part of you that's dying. Now, some of you, your whole self could die. If your spirit isn't strong enough, if you don't have the resilience right now, you could break. Yes, you could leave the spiritual path altogether. You could return to darkness, so to speak, the matrix. You could say, fuck it, I'm just going to go back to, mental and spiritual and emotional enslavement and the patterns of the world because it's safe. And I get certain things, security from that, even though it's a prison. You might do that. And for the rest of you, it's about, okay, I can't go back to that. I don't want to. That path is closed to me. Plato's cave. What I've seen now, I can't unsee. How do I move forward with what needs to be releasing for my rebirth? You're finding out how to die. So I ask Spirit for advice. For those of you who are going to keep moving forward, you got 3 cards here. This is your advice for June. You've got the 7 of Pentacles in reverse, and you've got the World card in reverse, and between them the Star. And I kept talking to you about the star pattern. I haven't personally done this because it's coming through in your reading. I feel like you should research the geometry, sacred geometry of stars or any patterns like that, and work with them this month. Now, Libra, what you've got on either side of this star is the 7 of Pentacles in reverse, which is like you've been kind of waiting for something to happen, investing in something, not seeing it grow, not seeing the change and the movement. In reverse, it's saying you can't stay here. You can't stay here and wait. You can't stay here and pour into it. There is no more staying in this situation, Libra. You have to move on from this particular thing, environment, or at least what it is I don't think you need to abandon whatever it is you're trying to create, whether it's a business or, some energy, some more money or a relationship or whatever. You don't need to abandon it, but what's happening here is this person is looking externally. They're watching the thing, they're assessing, they're looking outside and they're going, I don't see it happening, it's not growing. This card is very much that kind of the concept of saying that says a watched kettle never boils, that kind of saying. It's like how people say it's like watching paint dry. Like the timing of things will slow down so much spiritually if you're just looking at the thing to change. And on the flip side here, you have the World in reverse, which is, well, yes, you want to move through this portal. You want to create new worlds. You want to do something else. You want to grow. You want to change, Libra. In reverse, I see this kind of naked figure in a way, also speaking to your vulnerability. She also looks very much like the figure on this card. And there is a need to move past, but because it's in reverse, you can't. There's something unfinished, undone where you are, a death process incomplete, an ending, a shedding of skin, snake energy. I dreamt about snakes and reptiles this month. Something is undone for you. And the way to get through this is the Star card. Now, I was looking at this card, thinking about this card as alchemy, but seeing particularly how she's pouring into the lake and the earth. And I thought to myself, well, where's the source of these jars? Because if she's pouring it into the water, where did she get it from? Now, did she just put the cup or put this urn into the water and pour it straight back in? I don't think so. That's a waste of time. So how I'm feeling, the imagery of this card is that this figure, male or female, don't worry, it applies to you, whoever you are, Libra watching. This person has gone on a journey and they've come to this point with these urns full of water. This is a midpoint, a resting point, okay? The watering hole, as I like to call it for those of you who love wildlife documentaries like me. And what it's saying here, Libra, is that you have to pour into both, okay? You have to pour into both. You've got to pour into the material things. That is, yes, look after the material, continue doing your work, continue with your plans, continue earning, continue building finance. And with the water, it's pour into your spirit, continue your spiritual disciplines, continue looking after this physical temple, continue working on a good diet, continue your meditation practice. Do all of that. Both must be done together, balancing both. You are the energy of balance. You cannot drop one for the other. You have to find out how you do both right now. But what is she pouring from? Herself. That's what it means to you. You have to give to both your spiritual life and your material life from what you already have up to this point. It has to come from you, Libra. And you might be feeling burnt out. You might be feeling like, I don't even have that much more to give, but you've got to give your last. You have to give your last to maintaining balance with yourself, with what you're doing in your own environment, because it's an investment. Because these things are going to grow. She understands that to drink from this lake, it must be replenished. She knows also that to pour into the earth is going to produce fruits and flowers that she can eat and grow through and from. She knows this, she knows this, she knows this. You've got to do both at the moment because it's an investment. Invest in self this month, Libra. If you invest in self, then what you create will be a reflection of that. It will be a reflection of your values. What you create will be the things that you need in the world. And part of your problem, Libra, is that you're trying to create things that meet the needs of other people. You're trying to do things in the world, you know, and you're trying to create even relationships that are about either ideas you've got from other people or meeting the needs of other people. And then everything you're creating, the reason it looks like a monster is because you get left out. You need to be inside it, and in order to do that, you've got to invest in yourself so that what you create is a reflection of that. It intends to invest back in you. It is for you. To close, I started the daily readings last month, and when I read them, I'm inhaling the messages, or I'm internalizing the messages for myself, and I'm writing them for the collective, putting them out and letting them resonate with who they're supposed to. And when I went through a really, really difficult period of time, like literally like a week ago, my friend, said to me, let's meditate, and she meditated with me. And one of the messages that came through meditation was that I needed to go back and read all the daily messages I've written. And my goodness, when I read them, I was like, damn, this is a blueprint for me. Like, I've written everything I'm experiencing. And I thought I was writing it for that time. I thought, say I wrote it on May 5th. I thought I was writing it for May 5th. I didn't realize that version of me was writing for the future me. And as I came and read this thing from myself, I was like, my goodness, that practice, that discipline was an investment in me. And when I needed it, it was there. It fed me. That's the lesson for you. You're trying to create things that have nothing to do with feeding you, Libra. You must bring yourself into the vision. You have to be in it. And that's where it is. That's the success. And that's the gain. The success is creation, diligently making things. And the gain is things that are in your image that rebuild you. Libra, if you want a personal reading, you know the drill is nicoleblack.com/services. Thank you for staying with me. Please do follow me on Instagram. Please like, share, subscribe, and I will see you very soon again for the major July reading. Gosh, everything's going really quickly. I love you, Libra.